It's no secret that Germany, like many other industrialized countries, has an aging population. But on top of that, its pension system is clearly unsustainable. The government wants to introduce reforms to ensure its structures are fit for the future. And after nearly 6 months of deliberations, an expert panel has pinned down its recommendations.
Here's everything you need to know about how Germany's pension system is changing. First off, the retirement age, currently 67, is going up, but not right away. It'll increase gradually in the coming years, then starting in 2041 by half a year every decade. That means by the end of this century, people will be retiring at 70.
It is high time. Doing nothing is not an option. Pensions remain secure and the burden is distributed fairly across all social groups and across all generations.
The rules around retiring early are also getting an overhaul. Currently, Germans can take early retirement without losing any of their pension after 45 years of making contributions. But this is now going to be scrapped.
There's no cherry picking here. It's a holistic approach. Everything is interlinked and you can't just leave one thing out. The fact is that we must now summon the courage to decide whether we want to implement it in its entirety or not. That is now our responsibility.
Right now, it's not compulsory for certain groups, such as self-employed people and members of parliament, to pay into the statutory pension scheme. Under the proposals, more people will be required to contribute. And there will be an extra capital-funded pension scheme linked to the stock market. That's been designed to at least guarantee current pension levels, according to the Commission. But what do young Germans think?
On a personal level, it's a shame, but also understandable.
I don't think it's fair that this decision is, in a sense, simply being taken away from us.
I don't want to focus my whole life solely on work. I mean, it's not a pleasant thought.
What are we even doing this for? What are our prospects later on if we might not really be able to afford anything, even after working our whole lives?
To be honest, it scares me. We're all overworked. The people around me are overworked. Somehow, it doesn't seem like a bright future we're looking at.
Trade unions have criticised the Pension Commission's proposals, saying they ignore the realities of working people's lives. But the panel is resolute.
If we don't do anything, then with the law as it is, the pensions will start getting lower and lower. It's not an option because people pay more and get less.
The issue of pensions is always something of a political hot potato, and finding consensus in the governing coalition, made up of the Conservative CDU-CSU and the centre-left Social Democrats, is never easy. Last summer, there was an outcry in the SPD ranks when the Conservative Economy Minister voiced support for quickly raising the retirement age to 70. Chancellor Friedrich Merz will be keen to avoid a repeat of that and not rock the boat with his junior coalition partners.
DW's chief political editor, Michaela Kufner, has more on why this is such a high-stakes issue for the government.
This is a key moment for German Chancellor Friedrich Merz's governing coalition of his Conservatives and the Social Democrat SPD party. The pension reforms, the proposals, the concept that is now on the table, whether that is accepted by their own MPs and the public at large, could define success or failure of this government overall. It's a very contentious reform. It includes more contributions, also including a market capital pension for the future. What it does is that it secures the level of pensions also for future generations. It makes it harder to get into retirement earlier than potentially 67 plus in the future, and it connects the life expectancy of Germans with the pensionable age. This is not going to be popular, but it's something that he has seen the co-leader of his Social Democrat coalition partner Bärbel Bas to agree to. The Social Democrats themselves are now saying there must not be raisin picking. This concept has to be put into law as a whole or else? And that's the big question, because if it doesn't go through, if Friedrich Merz and his coalition partner cannot deliver on this, they are destined to potentially continue their free fall in the opinion polls, and this could also be a negative signal into an already ailing economy. So failure is not an option. That's what Friedrich Merz himself has said, but it's not a given that this will be a success.
Let's bring in Jörg Tremmler here. He's an adjunct professor at the University of Tübingen and managing director of the Foundation for the Rights of Future Generations. Thanks for being with us. Jörg, your foundation has welcomed the proposed reforms to the German pension system. If implemented, would these reforms really assure that the system is sustainable in the future despite Germany's demographic trajectory?
Well, the pension insurance is like a huge, cumbersome ocean liner, so you cannot have quick results in a few years. But I think the Commission's findings have made it possible to propose measures which, in the medium and in the long run, will contribute to a better provision in old age. So, as far as possible, yes.
Lots of countries with aging populations face similar predicaments. Do you think the reform proposals on the table in Germany could be applied successfully elsewhere?
Yes, the baby boomer generation is aging in different countries, and this poses a big challenge for pay-as-you-go systems in many countries. So what we need is a burden sharing. We cannot put all costs of demographic aging on one side, be it the working population or be it the current retired people. So we have to share the burden, and this is in a way the fairest possible solution. And this is done by a sustainability factor, which technically implements the demographic aging into the formula and makes pensions grow, but grow slower than without this factor.
Now, this is all part of a broader discussion, of course. There have been dire warnings for decades that future generations will be forced to pay dearly for the excesses of those living before them. The sustainability movement was born out of that, and it's now shaping mainstream political thinking. Has that movement, the sustainability movement, gained sufficient momentum to say that humanity has turned a corner in terms of acting responsibly towards future generations?
Well, you're opening up a wide field. We can talk about Fridays for Future and maybe Saturdays for Social Security. And I wouldn't directly compare the climate crisis or species extinction with our problems in public policy fields. But it's true that in many areas there's this not in my backyard thinking, or this paradigm of not in my terms of office or even not in my lifetime. So it's very important that we think about the long run and that we implement measures against presentism and short-term thinking.
So I'll take that as a no. You're a philosopher and political scientist who's written extensively about intergenerational justice. What are the key drivers that motivate people to act in ways that does not compromise the welfare of future generations?
Well, we have endemic presentism in many areas. There's this political cycle of short-term elections every 4 or 5 years. And then there's, of course, also in the news, in the media, this breaking news cycle. So we don't focus on the long term here either. And of course, also in business, when it's about 3-month reports instead of long-term reports, such as family thinking. It's not always stupid to think about the short run. If I asked you, would you prefer to have $100 now or in 1 year time, you'd probably say rather now. But if it comes to generations of different people, and I would ask you, would you like to have 100 euros or pounds now, or would you like to have your son this amount in the future? You would maybe doubt to take them now.
Jörg Tremmler, adjunct professor at the University of Tübingen. Thank you very much for talking with us today.
was a pleasure. Thank you.